Hello again, everybody. Thanks for tuning in, or if you're watching this on demand later on, I appreciate you stopping in. So, I don't even know if it's been 5 days, 7 days, 30 days, I'm not even sure how long it's been since we've done career mode. But I've been kind of glad that I've stepped away from the game for a little while, and got a few changes to the stream layout, nothing major, but yep, let's go ahead and pick it back up then from round 8 in Azerbaijan. So sitting on 87 points, obviously after that absolutely freaking amazing win in Canada last time out. So we're definitely looking good for you know, a pretty high result. I would say top 6 is looking pretty easily achievable in the driver standings this year. So yeah, we still got, I think, a fairly fresh power unit from the last time out in Canada. Obviously we used brand new components across the board there, so we're just going to keep those in for this time. We're not going to worry too much about the power unit side. So we're sitting on 403 R&D points. I'm trying to think if we have anything actually in the development pipeline, or if everything is actually on the car so far. I want to say everything actually is. I don't think there's anything in progress. So we did get the first 2 chassis upgrades on. We got 1 aero upgrade. We got I think probably the 3 sort of key reliability upgrades on the car. So that's definitely going to help us going forward. Not going to have to worry too much about reliability. I think maybe I might buy this IC Wear 2. Maybe not until we get maybe into the off season or something going into next year. So I think maybe we'll try to start a. I think we're gonna go. Let's see, fuel tank positioning. I think we're gonna go with this lightweight energy storage cells as being our next upgrade. So we need 1,000 points in order to get that, and then yeah, we'll just go from there on the chassis side. Got to get this Williams chassis up there. It's we did actually overhaul Haas, not by much, but we're the 3rd worst team now on the chassis side. So progress is slowly being made. So power unit wise, we're all green. 16% wear overall. That is not bad whatsoever. So yeah, maybe we'll at some point we'll come back and we'll drop some of these other sort of still green components back in for practice sessions and things. Yeah, I'm gonna lose a little bit of time if I do that here, so I don't want to lose too much time in practice. And then gearbox, let me actually check that. 36%, okay. Not anything that we need to worry about for this round. So yeah, let's head into practice 1. I've heard this circuit in general is extremely challenging in terms of achieving R&D objectives. So it could just be rip me here.
With a near flat-out final sector that's twice the length of Shanghai's back straight. Let's see who can find the
twice the length of Shanghai. I'm loving that in the Williams. Liking it.
We can see, of course, plenty of activity in the garages as we wait for the green light to
Let's
get
see
this
if
session
we get the
underway.
traditional Marcus
Anthony
Ericsson
Davidson,
here in
thank you for
the
joining me once
preview
again.
screen.
What are you going to be looking out for once
Get
the cars get
the
out there on
Iceman, the
circuit
Hulk,
today?
and who else do we get?
Naturally,
It's got to
in
be
a free
Ericsson.
practice session, you can never
Okay,
be sure
Stoffel,
exactly
he seems
what
to be also a
programs
regular
teams are
occurrence
running,
here
how
on the...
much fuel they've put in and so on.
Don't know why
So
they're
it's important
scrambling to get
resist
tires
the
on the car. Oh
temptation to
god,
draw
Mr.
any firm
Palmer.
conclusions from the fastest times on the monitor. What we can do, however, is look for consistent pace over the course of multiple laps. So if someone does
Spanish Samurai.
and they're consistently half a second quicker than another driver doing the same, then that's generally
Valtteri
a good indicator of
Bottas.
a car with a solid race pace.
We actually not going to get... Wow. I think that's a first for this channel, for this career mode, not to have Marcus Ericsson in the preview for any session. So I'm not going to complain about it. Let's see what kind of a setup here that we have. I think we tested one in time trial. I mean, kind of is what it is. I'm not going to worry too much about the setup. Obviously, with the Mercedes power unit, we're going to be completely dominant over most of the other cars. So even if we're not maybe right at the top in terms of one lap pace, which I'm hoping we will be, but if we're not, then it should be fairly easy to defend from cars behind and to probably make some decent overtaking moves. Already seeing some frame rate stuttering. Not a big surprise. So I was just on R Factor 2. So I do apologize if I'm got to get up to speed. The ballast on this car already feels like it's completely off. So I think I'm going to run this, run the track climatization in lean, just to save some engine wear. And also because I really do need to kind of relearn the circuit here. God. Yeah, hopefully the frame rate is decent enough to watch. I have it on low latency, so if it's a little bit stuttery, it's just because if you guys say something in chat, any kind of interaction is going to be a lot faster than with me on the normal setting. So I noticed Codemasters have raised the curves quite a lot through some of these sections compared to the way the circuit was on F1 2016. So yeah, the sort of half a season of league racing I did do on F1 2016, this was the only circuit that I got pole position at. Not exactly sure how much or by how much it was, but yeah. So I actually really don't mind this track. It's just going to be a bit of a challenge, just keeping it off the walls and keeping off some of these curbs that they've made a lot higher than they were on the original version of the circuit. So yeah, I feel the back end actually kind of stepping out as I go through those high-speed corners. Obviously, if I just put a little bit of steering lock in, it doesn't really affect the balance too much, but it's already kind of borderline. So that's good. We got team objective, low fuel, purple straight away. If the rest of them are that easy, then that would be nice, but I've been told that the rest of the challenges are not going to be anywhere near as easy. Alright, so before we go out for tire wear management and all that, let's check the ballast on this just to make sure we're good. I think it's actually really high. Oh, it's on 8. I'll drop it to 7. Running really high tire pressure as well, just so it does improve straight line speed a bit. So we're just, you know, it may end up causing a bit excessive tire deg in the race, but yeah, I think this race should be a pretty easy one stop from supers to the mediums. I'm sure the medium tires could actually probably do the entire 50% race around here without being under too much threat. Alright, so let's strap on a set of softs here and go out on a tire wear management test, and let's see what we can achieve. Yeah, a lot of stuttering there for some reason, sort of right as I go through sort of that scripted scene as I take over control of the car on the flying lap. Yeah, we'll throw it in lean just to try to minimize wheel spin out of some of the corners. Oh god. So yeah, I might actually have to bump this up into standard just to make sure we don't lose time on the straightaways.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, so I'm trying to go really easy, and this is, oh lord, and this is already, proving to be quite difficult to actually stay anywhere near the delta time. I'm hoping that I can just make a bunch of it back towards the end of the lap. Let's put it in rich here. Let's see if we can just make up a lot of this gap on the straights as we, close out the lap. I see what you guys have said in chat, I'm just not gonna really mention it yet. Don't cut. That's the only thing you do on F1 2017. I mean, if you to go fast, you have to cut. So, it's only the Codemasters way. So we're gaining quite a lot of time back here, but it's just not gonna be enough in order to hit our target. So just can't really lose a whole lot of time here in the first sector. So we're just gonna have to minimize our losses in the corners, try to make it back up on the straights. But yeah, I guess you guys can have fun with your little top secret thing that I guess won't really be top secret for too much longer. But yeah, if you guys are interested in some F1 2017, I don't know, I can't really spoil, I can't really say too much, but ACR guys behind the scenes are in the process of making something I think that'll be pretty fun, entertaining to watch, so I was originally going to be a part of it, but unfortunately I am 5 hours behind the time zone that I need to be in order to really participate in it, so yeah, unfortunately I won't be able to take part. Alright, so tower management, that's not bad. It definitely was actually kind of tough. I had to concentrate there through Sector 1 and 2, just to make sure I didn't lose too much time. So yeah, fuel saving, I'm sure this is going to be absolutely fun as hell, just like every single fuel saving mode is. And I was a virtual racing driver. I do not care a single damn about saving fuel. But I gotta do it for Jeff. Because we all love Jeff. We have to do it for him. Nice and early short shifts here. The lower wing on the Williams should probably help me stay close, yeah, to the target time. It's not looking too bad. See, all these corners before you could actually get away with some corner cutting back on 2016, or at least just kind of easily being able to go across them without too much of a penalty. Nice lock up there. Alright, got a decent exit out of there, just being in a high gear. There's no wheel spin or anything crazy. Lost a couple of tenths though. So I was going into the last corner there in Sector 2. Gonna have to burn a bit of fuel here, so we're not gonna hit. I don't think we're gonna hit purple objective. Let's see if we can at least make the actual target lap time. I think we should be able to. Might be able to lift off at the end here just for a split second. Ooh, there we go. So a little lift just as I crossed the line, and that was just enough to trigger the purple rating. Awesome. Where has all the pace gone? Yeah, that's a good question. I've been asking myself that since actually Season 5, to be honest. And even then, I had somebody named Harry Jacks, Noble2909. Who was he again? WFG finalist or something? I don't know. For some reason that guy always seemed to beat me back then. Alright. So what the hell are we on to now? Okay, cool. Qualifying pace. Interesting. But seriously though, that massive shout out to Mr. Noble, Mr. Harry Jacks. He proved himself and the F1 community, I think, very worthy at the McLaren Technology Center over the last week. Very awesome to see somebody so talented, and which I knew back in the day when I competed against him. I knew that, you know, this guy is like seriously at prodigy level kind of ability, because I'd never seen somebody that was capable of going so quick and yet and was able to have the consistency and the pace. Like, up until I met Noble, I really only ever met people that were kind of one or the other, or either fast, had no consistency, which is kind of like me most of the time, or they were yeah, super consistent but not a whole lot of speed. It was the kind of the first person I ever met online that that had both. So yeah, I'm sure he'll do pretty good this weekend at the F1 Esports Final. I'm not going to try to predict where he'll finish or where any of the competitors, honestly, are going to finish, because as I know from doing the AOR League on here, the qualifying is going to be so tight, so close, and, you know, it's, I would say 80 to 90% of the races will pretty much be, you know, locked in, unless the guys simply just crumble under pressure. I just think they're, you know, the lack of slipstream and everything on this game, there's just not really much of a way to overtake. So, but it's definitely going to put a lot of pressure though on whoever does qualify towards the front. They're going to be in prime position to be able to win. So we'll see how that goes. I have a feeling that there is no way in hell I'll be able to get anywhere near the qualifying pace objective here. Play F1 2010. Hello, Mr. Stefenko. To be honest, if you want to ship me over a an Xbox 360 controller or something, then that'll be fine. I'll spend the $5 or whatever it is for F1 2010 on Steam right now. Turn on some aids, some traction, and some ABS, and be back to the good old days. Alright, so Vettel is pissing me off now. I really don't think I could, I don't know, I guess I should have the tires to be able to do one more lap here, but seriously, man, what the fuck are you doing? Oh my god, is it raining? And it is. Sweet! This will be pretty much the end of this session. I don't want to kill the engine too much here, so I'm going to try one more lap behind Mr. Seb Vettel. I already lost way too much time in the first corner. Is there anything left? Yeah, the tires are already over 10% pretty much across the board. Alright, so qualifying, that is going to be ridiculous trying to be able to beat that time. So let's return to the garage. Lee puts Topa on a wall. Yeah, that'll be a sight to behold. Wouldn't surprise me though if some of the drivers this weekend get some of the drivers get their robos out and try to put people off. I mean, it really would not surprise me. I think Canada's gonna be a big one. People are gonna have to take a lot of risk going off track and maybe cutting a couple of the corners in order to try to get runs on other drivers, which I gotta say, probably not exactly the most clean or legit way to overtake, but unfortunately, even with strict corner cutting rules, there's no way for Codemasters to really enforce that, you know. The stewards, Fizzy Fan and McLaren Dan, or Dan Hawkins and Knut Martinson, as you guys probably may have heard of. I guess they're going to be controlling the cameras and I guess doing the steward work like they did during the semifinals in London. So yeah, it's raining now. Let me look at the weather. So it's going to just get heavier. P2 is wet. P3 is sunny at the beginning. Qualifying is dry, and the race is dry. So let us just skip. Let us just skip over to P3, and we'll go out and we'll do the final couple of runs. Alright, so Felipe is only 7,000 slower on the mediums. I'm liking it. God. I don't think this is gonna be a race win, guys. Just gonna go out on a limb and predict that. Unless the AI's pace is just really bad in the race. But I'm pretty certain I've never done a career mode race around here until now, so that's what are we up to? 594. Yeah, maybe with completing all the programs, qualifying is probably going to go really badly. But if I can get a decent race result, then I don't know, maybe we can get up near 1,000 points, so we can start development on another component before we have to close off this weekend. But yeah, we'll see. So yeah, I think P2's wet all the way through. So let's end this one.
All the cars are now over the line.
Yeah, so top times all intermediates. The E, America. Yeah, to be honest, I kind of want it to be America instead of America, but I don't have Photoshop at the moment, so that was pretty much about the best that I could find on the interwebs that was kind of easily editable and I could put it on the stream. How's it going, Miguel? Thanks for tuning in. Yeah, but see, the thing is, though, Martin, it requires skill to use Microsoft Paint. So, and, I mean, you should be hyper aware I have 0 of that, so... I mean, if you wanted to edit it for me and put a U in there, then feel free. But... Alright. So, it is going to rain towards the end of the session, so let me stop frickin' messing around inside the menus. You can insinuate whatever you want, but... Or we could just get Cobb to do it. This seems like he kind of does... He does the bidding of other organizations as well, when I don't really feel like he should have to. Oh. That is a whole other rabbit hole that I really don't want to go down. It looks like he's going to be returning to that organization as well next year. Oh my god. Just keep dropping so much time there. This is Bottle Job Glory Run right here. Hot Lap Masterclass. God. Nice frame rate stutters. Just braking so early for some of these corners. Freaking already losing half a second. What's an apex, Martin? Really? Oh god, I really have no idea. That was lucky as hell. Oh my lord, the amount of understeer through there. Feel like Jensen Button. I'm also way too cautious going into that corner. Alright, so I really don't think I'm going to make up like any time here. I'm going to try this like one more lap, but I don't want to kill the engine just trying to accomplish this. I'm hoping the race pace will be a lot easier to actually hit the objective. I could maybe get close to this objective, but I'd have to beat this by quite a lot in order just to get purple, so... Alright, seriously, the game is like got so much frame rate stuttering going on. It's unbelievable. Alright, now. I'm sorry. I am not good enough to do this, so I am not going to just continue to sit here and run laps and waste the engine. So, alright, let us do the race strategy here. Let's try to get this out of the way, and then we can move on to qualifying. There's only like 20 minutes left in the session, so not a whole lot of time to really do a whole lot before quali. If we can at least get this accomplished, I will be happy. But I have a feeling qualifying is going to be really bad. Say if I can even make it into Q3 based on this practice performance, that would be a miracle. Alright, so this probably isn't going to be easy either. Alright, so we got a bit of a buffer here coming around to the end of Sector 2, to the castle section. Bit later on the brakes there, and we're now massively up, liking what I'm seeing. Bit of a lock up into that kind of final proper corner, a little bit off that curb. But overall, it's not a half bad lap. I'm still getting these frame rate stutters. It's quite annoying, but not really a whole lot I can do about it. Nice lock up on the right front. Nah, I'm not going to restart the game. Until it actually, like, properly causes me to crash or something, then I'm not going to worry that much about it. I'll continue to complain about it, because it's a hell of a lot lazier to just sit here and complain rather than do something to actually fix the problem. So, just like it's easy to go on Twitter and complain to the developers about all the problems with the game, instead of actually going on their forums and providing any kind of detailed feedback and criticism. Nice back end. But thankfully, though, still gained a couple of tenths through that section. Alright, so we're pretty much about the same amount of time up on this lap. Hopefully only have to do one more. I have no idea if I'll be able to get purple on this. I just have another halfway decent lap on the next one, then if that's enough, cool. If not, I don't care. And we'll move on to we'll move on to qualifying after this lap. Still being really conservative on the braking zones for a lot of these corners.
There's 4 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, so we're even further ahead this time coming out of the castle section. It's all looking good. Ooh. And remember that curb upsets the car quite a lot. Didn't think it would snap out as much as it did. But yeah, hopefully this will be enough in order to get us the purple target score on race strategy, and we're just going to leave the qualifying. Yeah, there we go, sweet. So we're just going to leave the qualifying alone. I think there's just no way I'll be able to get a good enough lap in, and I don't even think I have enough tires anyways to redo that program. So at least we got what, 4 out of 5. So lap times are 7/8 faster than what they were predicting. Tire wear is a little bit worse than what they were predicting. Not a big surprise there, as I was pushing along fairly hard in order to get in order to try to just get a really good lap time under what they want. All right. So team objectives. What else do we have? So top speed, beat the average speed trap. Speed. I'm sure we'll probably get that during quali if it still is applicable during that session. And I don't really care about doing race strategy 2 different compounds. So. All right. We're already, Jesus, nearly already 40 minutes in, so let us retire from P3.
Here are your top 3: Hamilton, Raikkonen, and Valtteri Bottas. That concludes an interesting practice session.
So nice OP Mercedes, 1 second faster than everybody else. Hamilton even 1.2 seconds OP over his own teammate. Awesome, Codemasters. I can't freaking wait for this race. Alright, so I guess we'll have to see what Emma has to say in terms of our qualifying objectives. Yeah, Hamilton 1 second OP over Kimi, of all people, whose AI is ridiculously OP. Alright, so let's see what our objectives are. Obviously beat Danny Rick.
Just letting you know that we've had the team's expectations through for the upcoming qualifying session.
Qualified 9th. Yeah, I mean, I just don't know how far we're going to be off the pace. That is the real question. It's probably not going to be looking too good, but I mean, what can we really do? All I can do is just put it into mix 4 and try not to be a complete pansy, breaking like 50 meters early for some of the corners in sector 1 and 2. But
welcome to qualifying here in Azerbaijan.
At least it's a dry quali, and it will be a dry race.
When it comes to getting lap time out,
so are we going to have Marcus Ericsson this time during this preview session? We didn't have him last time, which is a complete shock.
Top speed is a key factor for this circuit. Even if you can achieve the same lap time as someone.
Top speed is a key for this circuit, and then boom, immediately pans onto McLaren Honda. I like it, Codemasters.
We don't think you'll have any trouble getting into the next session, so don't push too hard.
Alright, so we'll go with like 7 kilos just so we have enough enough fuel to do more than 1 lap, just in case we bottle the first lap, which I'm sure I'll probably do. Baku is a high downforce track. Did they actually say that? I wouldn't think that, I mean, I would imagine like Eddie Jordan saying that, but can't imagine with DC on there that they could actually get away with classifying Baku as high downforce. I'm not exactly sure who we have a couple seconds at the road, but hopefully they won't get in our way. Alright, so the shadows are actually going to create a bit of a problem here. Not really sure if I can go to the 100-meter board there. I feel like maybe I can, but I just don't want to risk having to like run down the escape road if I lock up. Oh, Mr. Chandok. Oh, there's that sun that got into Lewis's eyes there during the 2016 qualifying session here. If you watch Sky Sports and listen to Crofty, you would get that, probably remember that rather famous line. Was it Crofty or was it Ted? I can't remember who actually uttered that complete nonsense out of their mouth. But then again, 99% of Sky pretty much is that. Oh god, way too close to the wall. Alright, so Hulk lays down a 43 dead. Start things off. What's going on, Tim? Alright, so at least faster than Hulkenberg, only a couple of tenths behind Ricardo. Alright, yeah, I think that's going to be enough to definitely get us out of Q1. Alright. So Seb with a 42 dead. So I'm not losing really any time to the Ferrari, at least. Oh god, he's on the soft tire, never mind. So I'm dropping half a second in Sector 1, and then a couple of tenths Sector 2. And then I'll probably end up dropping a couple more tenths in Sector 3 once we all finally go on the super soft. Yeah, glad you guys are tuning in to see just how bad I am around Baku. So Mr. Bottas, first one into the 41s. Massively OP in Sector 1, 7 tenths quicker than me. Alright, so let's accelerate time here. We should be more than fine to get us through into Q2. Yeah, but the thing is though, Ross, wasn't your overtake of the week like not even an overtake? Because the guy that you overtook apparently got like smashed wide at Mirabeau or something? Yeah, it's a good thing you mentioned that, Slick. I mean, I don't know if a car being shoved out of an apex... I mean, I guess you can't see him from your POV, so long as nobody knows that it wasn't really a proper real overtake. Oh. Anyways. Alright, so let's take the rest of the fuel out. Don't know how close this is going to be getting into Q3. But yeah, hopefully we can go a few tenths faster. What did I do, a 42.7? So hopefully I can maybe get into the low 42s here by the end of it. Yeah, I love those desync cars, man. I love it whenever they're just completely solid too, like Jarl's was. You just have to like run offline and avoid them, and the person behind you thinks you're must be on some kind of freaking drugs because you know you're just weaving about off the racing line for no reason whatsoever. Too much speed through the second corner there. Bit later on the brakes that time. bit of curb hopping. Alright, well that's not looking promising as we're almost 2 tenths down on Perez going into Sector 3. 41.4 from Seb. I don't even know if this lap will be faster than our 42.7 from Q1. Felt better in some areas, but I think it's going to be pretty much about the same. 42.4. So, ahead of Grosjean, behind Ricardo, and I'm guessing Perez is probably ahead of Ricardo. Nice slick. Yeah, I don't know. Canada is just going to be a complete nightmare. I just cannot believe that it's been 8 games since, you know, this series came out, and even with the introduction of strict corner cutting, what, 2-3 games ago now? 2 games ago on 2015, they still cannot manage to get Canada right. It's just the worst thing ever. Alright, so no purple sectors, obviously. Yeah, I did actually go slower in Sector 1, I think, than I did on the first run. Better in Sector 2. Actually not even that far off the front runners in Sector 2. And then dropping a little bit of time in Sector 3. So it's mainly just Sector 1 where I'm dropping the time to most of the guys. We're in P7 right now. Let me put on a new set of tires. Make sure we took we did take the fuel out. So I'll put on a new set of tires. If we, I'll accelerate time down to about 3 minutes left. If we need to go out, we will. If not, I'd like to hang on to these tires for the, so Bottas has not even set a lap time. That's so awkward for me to say that. Jesus Christ. The reason I say Bottas, right, and I actually figured it out, the reason I say that is because the damn main commentator in America is an Australian, and he pronounces his last name Bottas, and I've just heard him say that over and over again. It's just been ingrained into my dialect. Those frickin' Aussies, man. Alright. Alright, so Valtteri went P2, not surprising. So I'm down to P8, only a couple of tenths to the good. So, unfortunately, we're gonna have to go back out just to make sure that we don't get knocked out. Well, it's pretty obvious how how Lee is faster than you, Temp. It's just like Monaco, it's just like a lot of the other tracks. If you don't take advantage of every single corner cut and use it to the fullest, you know, there's just no way that you'll be competitive. And those esport guys have to do it, and I really don't blame them. You know, they're not going to be critiqued based on anything other than the actual in-game corner cut detection system. So if that system doesn't detect it as a corner cut, then, you know, it's pretty much free game. There's no way for them to be able to have enough time to delegate out every single corner of every single POV of every round of the esports final to be able to figure out who cut when they shouldn't have been allowed to, and blah blah blah. So, well, I don't even have enough time here. Interesting. So I went out with like 2.5 minutes left. Alright. So I think I'm P8, so I didn't even need to go back out. But so there's going to be a little bit of wear on these tires, but not a whole lot. So Felipe missed out on Q3. Not a big surprise there. But it only was by less than half a tenth, so it's a bit of a shame. Yeah, I did actually race against Lee last night around Canada, and yeah, he is very fast, so he has that going for him as well. Definitely faster than me. Alright, so these tires have 2% wear, half a tenth difference in lap time, so as soon as I bottle one corner, that half a tenth will be gone anyways. Alright, so as is the case with online quali, just got to make sure I go out right at the very end on a brand new set of tires, and the track should be a bit faster then. And just make sure that our best lap comes here at the end of Q3, not in the beginning. Anybody out there that's watching that hasn't subscribed, I would appreciate it if you gave that a thought, and if you'd like the stream as well. Just trying to grow the channel as much as I can, as quickly as I can. I had a huge break between Canada and this one, but I'm going to try to do these a bit more often. Awesome freaking bottle job there. Hamilton with a 40.7. Jesus. Absolutely crazy. Alright, so apart from that wobble across the curb there, this has been a decent lap so far. Still left the braking a bit too early on some corners. I think this should get us into the 41s. Hopefully. And it's not. Well, we have improved about 3/10 every run, so it's not the end of the world. We're actually split between the Red Bulls at the moment. So yeah, let's go back to the garage. We're gonna leave to go to track a little bit earlier this time. And not run out of time before the end of the session. Let's put these super softs on, that half a tenth faster, combined with the track ramping up in grip here, should allow us to have the possibility of going a bit faster. So we're sitting P8, objective is P9. So Ocon, Verstappen are within pretty much a tenth and a half. So that's going to be the objective, is to try to at least gain that much time. I'm sure Danny Rick can improve a bit. I'm still dropping a ton of time in Sector 1. Yeah, I just can't get it clean. Had that big lockup though, so that's probably where that tenth and a half or maybe even more is there. I really can't do a whole lot more in Sector 3. I'm surprised that the time is off by that much, even if I didn't make that mistake. But Sector 2 is good. Compared to everybody else immediately in front of me. Only the top 3 are actually quicker. So, alright, let's go ahead and go out now. 4 minutes left. Hopefully we're not going to be in the middle of the huge train of AI cars. Alright. Alright, so yeah, we're actually just in front of that train, as it looks like there's been a crash in the castle section, looking at the circuit map there, so somebody is gone into the wall. Just going out on their out lap, interestingly. Not really a great turn 2, but at least we are slightly still ahead. Oh my god. Bottle job extraordinaire on display, ladies and gentlemen. Absolutely terrible. Well, now we're back to where we started. Barely up on our time. Alright, so a decent exit out of there, better than last time. So yeah, we're just going to be 2/10 up. At least this should get us down underneath a 42. But yeah, it could have been a lot better. At least another couple of tenths out there that we could have gotten. And awesome. So it did actually get us P6, so nobody else improved towards the end. Awesome, awesome. So as much as I bottled it, I think okay, so Valtteri has 2 penalties.
Goodbye for now then, but we're really just getting started.
2 penalties for 10 positions.
Again for lights out tomorrow.
So I think maybe if I'd have got a perfect lap, I mean, I could have been right around where Perez and Kimi were, but any higher than that would have been impossible. I don't know why Kimi is so far off the pace. Kind of speaks volumes to... his quality pace is pretty similar to his real-life performance. But watch him just all of a sudden have this transformation in the race, and he'll go from lackluster as hell in qualifying, and then just storm through the field and probably be up there rivaling Lewis at the front, who is probably going to run away with us now that Valtteri has that 10th place penalty, starting outside the top 10. Yeah, P6 is pretty good. Not as good as it could have been, but let's see if we can. Let's see if we can at least maybe maintain that position in the race. Alright, so 798 resource points. So yeah, we should, I guess, be able to, so yeah, we pulled ahead of Ricardo by 1 further point after quali. And we've pretty much maxed out our team approval status. That's going to help us out with contracts and everything here going forward, but obviously we're staying with Williams at least for 1 more season. So finish 7th or higher. That is pretty much actually my objective. Maybe 6th or higher. Really don't want to go backwards. So everything should be good. I don't have enough resource points to start another upgrade, so let us go to the race. Hey, what's going on, Mr. Rosario? Appreciate you tuning in.
Here we are then at what is without doubt the fastest street circuit on the
Oh god, Chase Carey, please don't kill me. Alright, so somebody subscribed.
Lewis Hamilton lines up on pole
so whoever that was, I appreciate it.
Sebastian Vettel starting alongside. Looking down the rest of the grid, we have Perez, Raikkonen, Williams, and Ocon. Verstappen, Ricardo,
Mr. Roberto, are you ready for the Destiny 2 DLC here?
Bottas,
in a couple of weeks.
And Kvyat, Palmer, Magnussen, Fernando Alonso, and Marcus Ericsson. Wehrlein and Stoffel Van Dorn completes the grid. Now it's almost time to lights out, so let's go down to the track.
Look at that, 4 seconds off the pace for the guys on the back row. Oh god.
We've qualified above where we expected to be, so try your best to hold on to this position.
Alright, so unsurprisingly, it's gone for the super soft to medium strategy. That's what we're gonna do. How many laps is this? 26? Yeah. So let's put, let's carry, I think about 54 kilos should be fine. I don't want to use, rich too much and burn through the engine. I want to have a little bit of spare fuel to make some overtakes if I need to. Otherwise, I think we should have enough straight line speed to for us to stay ahead of everybody. Alright, so let's say in personalized, actually go 9 laps on the supers. I think 8 is honestly probably fine. I really don't think 9 would be a smart decision. But yeah, hopefully we can have a good start here. Through the middle. Lord, oh my god. Perez, what are you doing? I got exceeding track limits. Are you serious? For like doing nothing. Oh my god! Fucking seriously? Wow, it was... Massa, were you 3 wide down the inside, man? What the hell was that? Dive bomb back up the inside of Ricardo. Massa is just on a freaking mission here. So I've got some front wing damage. I don't know how much that's going to really affect the performance, but courtesy of my teammate going 3 wide down the inside of turn 2, not much I can do about that. There's Hamilton's dreaded son again. Car doesn't feel really any different, so... Oh god. Bit too hot under there. Let's put it into rich so that we don't come under threat from Ricardo at the end of the straightaway. Hmm. 26 laps here. Not sure how I feel about that. Alright, so unsurprisingly, the Ferrari's pulling away from Esteban there in P5. So we got Valtteri already up to P8. We'll be putting us under some pressure pretty soon. Wow, the AI's pace through that section there, the top of the castle, is really, really strong. It's got supreme traction. I don't like going over that curb though at that corner, so I could remember to use that just to try to gain some time on them maybe later in the race if I need to go for an overtake. So the AI is actually just stretching away from me here. It must be running fairly low wing as well, as I want to say the AI do sometimes go for lower wing at tracks. Holy crap, Perez did a faster lap than Hamilton.
Okay,
What the hell?
3 now. DRS has been enabled.
Broke way too early there for turn 1. But we do at least have DRS here. I'm going to bump it into Ridge. I need to stay ahead of Valtteri. Oh my god. The good thing is Ocon is holding Felipe back. So if he's following that closely, he's definitely got to have more pace. No grip out there. It's kind of a shame that that curb is kind of raised up and you can't get traction off of it, because in real life it's just a... It's basically just like a little painted section of red and white stripes, and the drivers just run out, take advantage of it. Alright, so Valtteri is going to put us under some pressure, I think, here. We'll have DRS, but he is very close. Quite. He doesn't quite have the straight line speed to do anything to us at the moment. Oh, awesome.
Okay, take it easy on the car. We can't sustain this level of damage.
Well, I had a feeling turn 2 would be my Achilles heel at some point. Car just understeers like crazy there. Alright, so Felipe did get past Esteban. Oh my lord. Yeah, it's just super easy to oh, this is probably going to be a safety car now. Oh man, it's completely stopped behind me. Maybe even a red flag. I don't know if red flag's even in this game. Track was pretty much completely stopped. Front wing damage is not fun at all around here. Is just right up behind me. I don't know why in the world we don't have a safety car or something at this point. That was kind of a last-second defensive move there. But I would say that was probably fair enough. There's just not much I can do, because I'm gonna lose probably a second or 2 seconds a lap. I already didn't have enough pace even with no damage on the car, so.
Caution, caution.
Good God. Still got chaos going on up here. Got a Sauber. Austin Powered there. Unable to turn himself around. I got safety car and everything turned on just for some reason. I just guess Charlie doesn't give a damn today. But yeah, all we can do from here is maybe just hope that the AI are on 2-stop strategies, and we'll just run the 1-stop, get the front wing changed, and see if we can still manage some points. Now we have a huge gap back to the cars behind, so
We're approaching the pit window. You'll be on the mediums.
that's not going to be such a big problem scoring points today. Going anything higher than I don't know. I think achieving the objective of P7 might be pretty tough. But it just seems like this is kind of how this career mode is destined to be so far. Have one really good race, and then at least that's how it's gone for the last couple of episodes. Just a really bad race, followed by a very good one, followed by another very bad race. But this isn't quite as bad as Monaco yet. Although if I throw it into a wall and completely lose my front wing, it could well and truly still be that bad. As I don't know if that's Ericsson that's just still parked there or what, but oh well. I guess so long as he's actually just parked on the outside of the track, there could still be a chance of a safety car happening at some point. I guess, unless it's just going to be a perpetual yellow flag zone going into the castle section. Nothing on the front tires at the moment. Really easy to lock up and miss corners. Oh, so apparently we have an orange rear wing as well. Guess maybe that was when I got ran into going into the castle section, maybe? I'm not even sure. Yeah, I don't even know how that happened. Let's do some bunny hopping across these curbs. Oh god. But yeah, this is just going to be a salvage drive at this point. Alright, I think we're actually just going to go ahead and pit here. We're going to lose a ton of time anyways from the front wing change. At least get onto some fresh tires and get a new front wing. Lord, I had no idea what the speed limit was there until I looked up at the last second. 37 miles an hour seems rather a little bit much, but 7.6 seconds. Guess that's not bad. Still gonna lose us 5 seconds though through the pit cycle. And we're gonna come out in traffic. All going horribly wrong, and my pit limiter didn't get disengaged. Nice game, as always. Oh my god. Oh, I was gonna get run into again. Why not?
Okay, clear.
Maybe that'll actually bring out a safety car, please. Maybe. Okay, so Ericsson has been DQ'd from sitting at the castle section for like the last 10 laps. Alright, so somebody went straight into the wall there at turn 2, front wing laying there. I have no idea if we're actually catching Palmer ahead of us. Really hope we aren't. And Kimmy out of the race. Well, at least that's going to help us on our fuel here. Only thing is, if these guys, yeah, these guys are stopping under the VSC. Oh, that's not exactly great timing. And now we're losing a ton of time on the Delta. Kimmy pulled off at turn 1. That's pretty much kind of the first laps of Ferrari this year so far. God, just can't drive worth a damn. They've been pretty much all empowering going up to this race. This is embarrassing, as Alonso likes to say. Just not even paying attention. Like, this is honestly so boring. Just knowing that I have to go to the end and there's like nothing really to achieve right now. I'm pretty certain those guys mainly pitted, or I know at least some of them pitted under the VSC, so that's really worked even worse for me, that I had to do the front wing change under a full racing conditions. God. Yeah, I think really we're just gonna only get maybe a point or a couple of points here, and that's it. Got a couple more cars that are exiting the pits now, but yeah, this is pretty much a lost cause. Grosjean isn't even really that far behind us. Yeah, so the only thing that can really help us at this point is if these guys ahead are two stopping. But the only way that we're still going to be able to finish in front of them is if I stop driving like an absolute moron. I mean, Felipe is like an entire sector. He's like 40 seconds in front of me, if not more than that at the moment.
Felipe in the pits.
God.
Felipe has pitted.
Not even halfway through the race yet. Felipe's already out. He's already at turn 2, so he's still going to be like 30 seconds in front of me. Yeah, P8 I think is all it's going to be. It's really the only accomplishment I'll be able to do today. Even then, I got Grosjean 7 seconds behind. And if I keep locking up and doing stupid things, he could probably still catch me. Yeah, really the only thing that can save our race at this point is an actual full-blown safety car, which we honestly should have gotten during the that foray of Ericsson just being parked on the side of the road for like 5 or 6 laps and then getting disqualified. Probably could have actually gone on to the mediums at that point and maybe even still made it to the end. Got a free pit stop out of it. Thank you, Mr. Ross. So yeah, I'm pretty certain the Grosjean is running us down. Yeah. Not really by a whole lot, but by some. Terrible castle section. Yeah, I think maybe the leaders, considering the lap times they're doing right now, maybe they are doing the 2-stop. But I still don't think our pace is good enough to, unless the guys directly in front of us. Felipe's fallen back to 7th. He is on the soft, so that's sort of indicative of going on to a 2-stop. I might actually be able to hold him off, but... And of course, as I say that, just absolutely brilliant. I mean, I'm literally like falling asleep going down the straightaways, so... I have Grosjean catching me here after he got held up by about half a minute at the castle section earlier in the race. If you guys actually want to watch some good driving, feel free to check out my Nürburgring 24-hour stints that were in the rain, in the dark, on the Nordschleife, however you want to pronounce it, the full 24-hour track, on R Factor 2. Probably some of the best driving that I've ever done. Also the reason, as I was preparing for that, as to why I haven't really done any of these career modes recently, and also why I did not participate in the AOR race at Monaco. I pretty much got no sleep in a 24-hour period. Obviously, I only drove the car for about 6 hours, but I was up, sort of helping with sector times and everything else for my teammates whenever they were in the car. I did actually manage to, not just me, but we did manage to win the 24-hour race around the Nürburgring, so it was my first ever endurance race, and it was an extremely enjoyable experience. And if any of you guys out there ever get the opportunity to team up with some fellow sim racers and get the chance to run a 24-hour race, I highly recommend it. It's a lot of fun to do. Definitely a lot more fun than driving around by yourself in the middle of Baku. Felt like that was really close to the wall there. So tire wear wise, I think we're doing alright. I think pit stop delta around here is pretty long because of the slowness of the pit lane, 37 mile an hour. Like 50-60 kilometers an hour. I'm using a Fanatec Club Sport version 2 wheelbase with a Formula rim. CSR Elite Pedals have a load cell brake. I definitely love me a load cell. Can't stand using any of the cheaper brakes out there. Not like that actually helps me not lock up or anything, but yeah, I just have no feel whatsoever on the Logitech or the Thrustmaster or any of those pedals. So I've been pretty much driving purely on Fanatec for about 6 or 7 years now. Some mass is still pulling away from us in front, and Grosjean is still slowly reeling us in from behind. So all we can really do here is just pray that they're not going to be able to make the soft tires go to the end of the race. And they do make another pit stop, which I guess if they do, they're probably going to make that somewhere around 18 or 19. So it should happen here in the next couple of laps. Already feel the rear tire starting to go a little bit. I'm actually going to readjust the brake balance. Just put it a bit more frontward. It might start locking the front wheels a bit more, but I don't want the car sliding around too much through some of these slow corners. But yeah, we're pretty much just running in no man's land here, just hoping that some of the cars in front do go for that 2-stop strategy instead of the 1.
Virtual safety car deployed.
Okay, somebody lost a
Positive delta. Virtual safety car is deployed.
somebody lost a front wing there.
Delta is too low and will risk a penalty. Slow your pace immediately.
Alright, trying to time this. Come on, just right for the delta. I want to lose like a second or two like I did last time. So that's a second virtual safety car that we've had so far in the race. Yeah. So it's pretty much just flat out all the way down the straightaway, which is so weird. Under virtual safety car, and yet you can just fly down through here at like 200 miles an hour.
VSC ending, we're going green. Maintain positive delta until the green flags.
Oof, that was lucky to actually get underneath the delta, pretty much right as it went back to green. Alright, so we're still running 8th. Felipe's still in front. Hoping we didn't lose any time to Grosjean there. God. Sitting here looking at chat, looking at everything else. Wow, these lag spikes, man. And forgot to shift down to 3rd gear. A little bit too close to the wall there for comfort, but managed to get away with it. Yeah, like I said before, I really hope these guys are making second round of pit stops, because it looks like all the dots have gone back by the pit lane again. So if they are going to make another stop, they're leaving it awfully late. I mean, P8 wouldn't be a terrible result. Could have been a lot more though. At least a couple positions higher. Oh, it looks like we have another incident ahead. Can we get a full-blown safety car, please, Charlie? Okay, so that's K-Mag. I'm guessing he has a puncture. That's why he's going so slowly. Lewis doing another ridiculous lap time. AI in front, still not pitting. So yeah, I just have a feeling they're not going to pit at this point. So I just went the safe route. Just went for the mediums to get to the end. Had that front wing damage in the first stint. Didn't want to risk anything tire strategy wise. What is it with this stuttering? There's Just this weird frame rate stuttering right as I get into a lot of these braking zones. I know it just sounds like I'm making excuses for all these lockups and mistakes, but virtual safety car out again. Time number 3 in this race.
Okay, slow down, slow down. Your delta is negative, which means you are too fast. Reduce your pace. Virtual safety car is ending. Maintain your pace until the green flag. VSC ending. Wait for green. Okay, clear.
Oh, looks like K-Mag is in the, did finally scramble back around to make it to the pits. So yeah, we even have a lap car in between me and, Felipe. K-Mag looks like he, is gonna re-enter the track pretty much right where Grosjean is. Actually, no, he's pretty close to me. Hey everybody that's still watching, I appreciate you hanging around through the whole thing. I know after the first couple of laps, after we were running in that group, battling for possibly a top 5, hasn't exactly been very entertaining, but still appreciate you hanging around until the end.
We have 5 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, so it looks like Felipe and Ricardo battling over, maybe that was Ocon as well there. I saw a flash up for a second. Maybe that's 3 of them battling over P5. Oh yeah, it is. So Felipe is actually up in P5 at the moment. What a crazy race for him, as Magnussen's actually catching up with me quite a lot. I'm gonna guess they probably put him on the super soft tire the last 5 laps of the race. It's going to be a bit awkward here because he's going to have so much pace over me, but as soon as he gets in front, or if he gets in front of me, he's just going to immediately get blue flags and slow down, try to let me back by. Bunny hopped way too much over that one. So it was weird. It was like Felipe's pace fell away at the beginning of the stint on the softs, and all of a sudden towards the end he was able to pass, or I guess repass Ocon. I'm just going to let Magnussen go here, see if he'll actually pull away from me, if he'll just be a pain in the ass trying to let me back by. Oh god, what the hell is he doing? So yeah, he's getting blue flags, but he's pulling away far enough, I think, to where, yeah, he should just pull away from here on out.
There's 3 laps of fuel remaining.
Alright, so yeah, we got plenty of a big enough lead on Grosjean behind. Just have to cruise around here for the next couple laps and just bring home this P8. Unless something catastrophic happens in front, a car breaks down. I think we saw Verstappen break down on the final lap of a race earlier this season, so there's always the probability or possibility of that happening. Might gain us another position, but all depends on how Codemasters want to script it for us here this evening. As they already had Kimi retire earlier in the race. Otherwise, this would have been a P9 best possibility. Yeah, it's really weird how, and I carefully didn't use the word unexpected, but it's just very strange how Codemasters just cannot seem to get AI balance right. AI seem to be ridiculously good around here, not just in terms of pace, but you know, traction, tire wear management. They're able to do a super soft to soft strategy when the game only recommends you to do a super soft to medium. Which, I mean, I guess if I would have maybe gone a few more laps in the super soft, which I absolutely could have, I could have made it work, but yeah, the AI just seemed to do everything correct around here. This is definitely one of the true tests of whether or not you really have your stuff together on this game. Strategy, tire management, front wing preservation skills, and the whole 9 yards. So we're able to put together a PB lap time there into the 45s.
We have 2 laps of fuel remaining.
Yeah, thank you, Packus. Thanks for tuning in the time you were here. Yeah, you're not going to miss a whole lot after this. So, thanks for stopping by, man. trying to think of what round we actually have coming up after this. Is it Austria or is it Silverstone? Can't really remember. Obviously, no matter what it is, it most likely be infinitely more entertaining to watch. But then again, if I take off part of the front wing on my car at any circuit, it probably will put me into a bit of a no man's land. And Vettel actually manages to win the race. Holy crap. So I think that pretty much continues the domination. I don't believe it. Was Verstappen behind us? Or did he retire immediately after the race, like after he crossed the line? I have no idea what just happened there. I can't believe I called that though. He might have got spared this time and managed to make it to the line before the engine blew up, but... Alright. So, last like 20 laps of the race was not very exciting, so... Which I kind of had a feeling it wouldn't be, but... Like I said, thanks for hanging in there and watching to the end, guys. So we get a P8 in the end. 4 points, nothing crazy, but I think really about P6 was about our maximum today. So Felipe was just on another planet, so created a bit of chaos at the start. Lost a bit of front wing there, and then I self-inflicted a bit more front wing damage, and then it just kind of fell apart after that. Is that Perez on the podium? Are you freaking serious? There's Verstappen, who apparently, or no, that's Ricardo. I was gonna say, is that Verstappen who blew up at turn 1, and his car magically got best to park firme? Perez did get a podium. No way. Yeah, his pace in quali was crazy. He qualified like P5, and now he ended up on the podium. Really surprised that Lewis didn't manage to take out that win, considering he was on pole. Pretty much dominated all the way up until the race here today.
So then, it's time to see how this result affects the Drivers' Championship. Sebastian Vettel takes over the lead of the Drivers' Championship after that excellent result. And now I'd like to ask you, Anthony Davidson, who was your driver of the day?
Oh, well, I'm a bit spoilt for choice, Crofty. My instinct says Valtteri Bottas, and looking down the field, no one really jumps out at me to make me change my mind.
On to the constructors then.
So Valtteri driver of the day, just because he overtook more people than anybody else.
Well, what a weekend that has been. Please join us next time for another thrilling installment of this Formula One season.
So yeah, my fastest lap was terrible compared to everybody else, so Valtteri did go on to the mediums to go to the end. Felipe did 11 laps on the super softs at the start. Wow. Yeah, I guess if you can manage that. I just didn't want to go any longer with the damaged front wing. So, oh well, we'll have to take it, and we'll go on to the next one. Let's hope that we actually manage to get enough resource points from this race today in order to start some development on another part. And only 881. Interesting. So yeah, Ricardo gained back a couple of spots, still leading it though. So we dropped in Force India, but apparently went up on reputation with the bottom 5 teams. It's a bit strange. Alright, let's skip the score thing. Nobody really cares. Core competency. So yeah, cool. We got the 10% faster 10% faster pit stops. And a contract event.
You'll like this. I just got out of a meeting with the boss and, well, congratulations. You've done a great job. Here.
We're actually going to get promoted to #1 driver after we just got beaten by #2. So Felipe just destroyed us today at Baku. But I guess they were happy enough with the race win at Canada that they were happy with promoting me to first driver. Well, that's about the only good news from this episode. But yeah, I think that means I guess we earn more R&D points and all that in the races going forward. I don't know exactly how it works, but I want to say that's what it was. We get some kind of a bonus, I think, for being first driver. So yeah, I appreciate you guys hanging around, and yeah, I will catch you guys at the next race, which I still do not even know what it is. What is it? Austria. So it's actually, I wouldn't say it's not a top 3 favorite, but definitely in maybe the top 5 or 6 overall in the calendar. Definitely a lot more enjoyable to drive around than Baku. So hopefully we can get back to a decent finishing position next time. So yeah, until the Austrian Grand Prix, I will catch you guys next time. See ya.